Good day and welcome to the Sport Rap Show. My name is Jesse Jackson Kauraitha and I will be your host for today, unpacking the latest sports news in and beyond Namibian borders. And now for the latest on the hit list. Today on the hit list, we start off with the Brave Warriors as Colin Benjamin has named a squad for two important crucial World Cup qualifying matches taking place in Francistown, Botswana. The first against Malawi this Friday. David Ndeunyema as well as Isasa. Ivan Kamberipa, of course, as well as Ariane Hanamup and Gero Katwa. These are the players that have already played in the 2024 Africa Cup of Nations as defenders, joined by the rest, which is Sergio Damasep as well as David Aingwafa, was the Africa Cup of Nations. However, they will be there now and will be battling in the World Cup qualifiers as Colin Benjamin trusts that they will do well. Let's look at the goalkeepers and see. There we have a Kamayanda Ndisiro. Of course, Lloyd Kadapwa there and Kamayanda Ndisiro. Lloyd Kadapwa and Ndisiro were at the Africa Cup of Nations, of course, where Namibia also Mudel. Those are the midfielders, and now if you look Mudel, those are the midfielders, and now if you look at that midfield there, we have Aprocius Petrus, one of the players that has actually been playing for the Brave Warriors for a while now. Dynamo Fredericks returning also after an injury that forced him off for a while. South Africa's all-record top scorer in that. South Africa's all-record top scorer in that, and he is here and will be part of that team. David Dauyemwa there also coming in the ranks, not additional. Isaskar Gurirap, also a striker that currently plays in Zimbabwe, of course, coming back in the favors of Colin Benjamin there. He is a good striker as well. And then you look at the likes of Dion as well as Helias Ambongo. And now with Dion Hoto and Jocelyn Kamatuka, these two guys also playing in the South African Premiership. And of course, Jocelyn Kamatuka has already been on the score sheet for his side, Durban City, which were recently promoted to the Premiership. Now let's look at where the team stands, of course, in terms of the positions in this World Cup qualifiers. We have that is Tunisia on top, leading that group with 16 points, followed by Namibia on 12 points. Of course, if you look at that, Tunisia have won 5, drawn 1, and lost none, while Namibia also not losing at the moment, of course, winning 3 with 3 draws, and they are comfortable in that position there and believe that anything can happen as far as qualifying to the World Cup for the first time is concerned, although the Tunisians still look in pole position to qualify out of that group. Another team to look out for in that group is Liberia. They started off badly in that group stages, but you could see they have been getting the points, and they are just 2 points behind Namibia, of course. So they are indeed also in pole position. Equatorial Guinea, they also losing a couple of points due to an ineligible player, of course, are now. They need to really work hard in order to get up there with Malawi and Sao Tome Prince. Of course, Sao Tome Prince standing no chance at the moment. They have not won any match in that group. So it is indeed poised to be an important encounter between Namibia and Malawi as well as Sao Tome Prince. We know that Namibia will be playing in Botswana due to the fact that we do not have a FIFA accredited stadium, and that's why they chose the Chilume Stadium in Francistown, where they will be playing those 2 qualifying matches. Namibia prior to playing in Botswana have actually literally been playing in South Africa most of their home matches. We know that the Independence Stadium still under construction, still not to the FIFA standards. So many Namibians are expected to travel to Botswana to watch this match, bearing in mind the distance that is between Namibia and Botswana, of course. Speaking of something of Botswana, we have Alpheus Levy. You could see that player was also called up. However, we understand that Alpheus Levy's deal or signature towards Botswana's Jwaneng Galaxy play for the Botswana Premier League side. Rumors initially suggesting that Levy has signed or penned a deal with the Botswana club. However, the news that we have received is that Alpheus Levy unable to complete that deal, not impressing at trials, and will remain a Blue Waters Football Club player. That was confirmed by the club's chairman, Matthias Haufiku. We'll now cross over to the marketplace and we return with more news. Do stay tuned.
African players playing in Europe, playing in Africa, the inner workings of their craft, every single little thing. And also, very importantly, tasting African food with Patty. Are you ready for that?
Of course, we're going to broaden up our taste palettes and we're going to take it to the whole of Africa. We're not just going to stick here in Namibia. Of course, it's important to also appreciate Namibian culture and food, but we're going to broaden it up, like you say, and we're going to try everything.
That's right. So join us as we take you beyond borders for the love of sport with In the Mix Africa.
Well, today on the Spotlight, it has indeed been an incredible NSSU campaign in terms of the teams battling each other for top honors there. We have some highlights for you brought to you by the NTV team. And this time it was Windhoek Gymnasium and Moria.
Die 2025 Namibiese skole rugby seisoen wat einde se kant toe staan met hierdie intense semifinaal tussen Moria, OK Foods Moria en King Price Windhoek Gymnasium. Dit was Windhoek Gymnasium wat hier die eerste slag geslaan het van hy lynstaan dryf af, die blonde kop flank Leon Hon wat daarso die eerste 3 van hierdie wedstryd gedruk het om vir Gymnasium te laat voorloop. Die eerste doelskop deur die center, JD Jankovic, die was mis. 5 punte teenoor 0. En hierso OK Foods Moria se buitesenter Bertus Narib met die doelskop. Alle eerste 3 punte in die wedstryd. Moria op die aanval hierso, hulle skramskakel wat wag vir die bal, Durant Lou en oorgebars daar deur hulle vaskopstit, genoeg momentum, Wian Martens wat daai 3 druk. En netjies 'n skoppie vorentoe in die spasie daar agter, wat in die hande gekry word deur Driekus Martens, die vleuel van Moria. Belangrike punte wat hy daar aanteken om die telbord uiteindelik dan daar gelyk op te maak. Hierso sien ons dan deurgebars deur Armand Esterhuizen. Hy gee vir Kio Creer die flank wat Moria se volgende 3 gedruk het in die eerste helfte, en Bertus Narib wat geslaag het met sy doelskoppe, en so in daai stadium dan 22 punte teenoor 8 was die rustyd telling waarmee Moria reeds sy stem dik gemaak het in hierdie semifinaal. Hierso weer 'n keer Kio Creer, die flank wat net kort van die doellyn gekeer is, Durant Lou uit daarna die 8ste man Armand Esterhuizen en dit is Moria wat sy stem dik maak in hierdie wedstryd. Gimnasium, hulle moes terugkom in hierdie wedstryd vir al hulle ondersteuners en hierso was dit die hakker Javin Du Plessis wat teruggedra is, gekeer is net voor die doellyn, uitgeskiet deur die skramskakel en dan daar na Oliver Seeger die regter te veel momentum en gewig en krag en hy druk sy 3 om vir Gimnasium terug in die prentjie te bring. JD Jankovic, die senter, akkuraat met sy doelskop en Moria wat ook 'n tweede asem gevind het en weer teruggekom het in die wedstryd met hierdie lynstaan dryf wat dan daar afgerond is deur hulle volgende speler Nana Soy, ja, wie was dit gewees? Okay, skop was oorgewees deur Bertus Narib en hierso was dit 'n aanval deur Pieter Stefan Stassen, netjies grond toe gebring daar net voor die doellyn en Jan Daniel de Villiers wat daar so vir Javin Du Plessis vind en hy druk sy 3. Windhoek Gimnasium desperaat op soek na 'n terugvegpoging in hierdie wedstryd. En dan JD Jankovic wat geslaag het met sy doelskop. In die hoekie daarso kom die bal terug na Boelem Olofsen, hy hardloop haar terug in die verkeer in en genoeg krag en gewig en momentum om 'n 3 vir Gimnasium te druk. Die groot slot van Windhoek Gimnasium. JD Jankovic nog 2 punte met sy skopskoen. Intense einde gewees aan die wedstryd. Hierso Gert Pretorius wat die deur gebars het, netjies grond toe gebring deur Moria se manne en Leon Hon wat sy tweede 3 in die wedstryd druk. Moria, hulle het op die aanval gebly en hierso die skramskakel Durant Lou uit na die center Bertus Narib wat dan na die Impala oorgeduik het. Daai 3 is nie toegeken nie, maar hulle het teruggekom vir 'n strafskop. So Narib wat sy span se laaste 3 punte bygevoeg het. Dit was dan 39 punte op die telbord vir Moria en 34 vir Windhoek Gimnasium. 39-34 die eindtelling. Een van die meer intense wedstryde wat ons al gesien het in hierdie NSSU Superliga van die onder 19s en so Moria wat vir die eerste keer in hulle bestaan dan hulle plek bespreek in die eindstryd waar hulle dan teen Windhoek Hoërskool te staan sal kom, die verdedigende kampioen wat hierdie jaar ook onoorwonne was. Ons sien uit na daai finaal volgende Saterdag. Ons bring dit dan ook vir julle regstreeks.
And now there's obviously a special athlete that has been doing very well for a number of years now. It is none other than Vera Luza. Her cycling career knows no boundaries. She has done very well. Spa Cycling Challenge, and you can name them all. Let us hear from her.
I got into cycling when I was a small girl. I started at the age of 8. The reason why I started was probably because my bigger brother was doing it, and what he could do I was definitely able to do. So I got into it like that, and then always did mountain biking, road cycling, did a little bit of everything, and I always enjoyed it. It was outside, it was with friends, you can talk to the people, we had a good group going. So that was quite nice. And then over the time, I just got a little bit more professional and, yeah, going into it with a more serious mindset. And what it has taught me over the last years or last decades, I guess, I think it defined me as a person. So many things you learn through it, teamwork, how committed you are, you have to work hard, like work ethics, dealing with people, with other people, sponsors. So I'm so grateful to have had that experience and grown up in sport. It also kept me away from a lot of stuff that you shouldn't be doing as a youngster maybe. So yeah, I think definitely such a good thing to do, probably sport in general, but just cycling is such a nice sport to do. So yeah, I'm so glad I somehow floated into that. I was privileged enough to compete at 3 Olympic Games. My first ones were in Rio, in Brazil, which was really a nice experience. I was still quite young and unexperienced, and going there, coming from Africa, was a massive thing. So much pressure that I just put on myself, competing on this massive world stage. But then going to Tokyo from that 5 years later, it was supposed to be 4 years, but thanks to COVID, it was 5 years. And I was in the breakaway there for so long, and so many people were watching the race and like, oh, you did so well, and we could see you on TV, and just showing, also coming from a small nation, from Namibia originally, that people see that we are there, we're putting your country onto the map. That was just great. And then my last Olympics were in Paris, and you race that race and there's 1 million spectators and they all scream, and you go up these tiny paths and you're actually getting goosebumps because you're like, wow, this is really happening. I'm here. I'm like with the best people. All these people are screaming at you. That was incredible. Those were probably 3 highlights of my career. And then winning the while watching, and the people that message you and call you and they're like, you're doing so well, and yeah, it's just that feeling of I've arrived, I can win big races, I can do this, like there's a spot for me in this sport. I think that was such a big step for me at that race. So yeah, those are definitely my highlights of my career so far. Yeah, being part of the Efficient Insure team has been such a privilege. It's only girls, which is so nice. We get all the attention, which is awesome. And there's not only 2, there's actually 5 of us. You get the support at races. You can communicate with each other, who's doing what, and learn from each other. The opportunities to race amazing races and win amazing races without having that pressure of having to perform. It is always still a fun environment, and you can, yeah, nobody puts pressure on you, but you know, if you can have fun and there's no pressure, you actually do so much better. So it's so nice to have that friendly environment, positive environment, and be able to race on the world stage, do these big races here, and yeah, just having such a company in the back is just, yeah, it's been a privilege. Yeah, being a female cyclist, I think in South Africa, not having that many opportunities to race for teams, and then we have the team, the Efficient Infinity team, and it's only women. So you have a space in the sport that gets the recognition, that gets the support, that is there to support us, help us grow, improve, do nice races, win nice races, just having that jersey to put on every day and be like, I'm proud to wear this jersey, and I can identify with this and with the company and the values of the company. I think that's so important, riding for teams and for sponsors, that you can identify yourself with them and their brand and what they are trying to put out there. And I think Efficient Infinity has definitely gotten that right with having a women's team like this. cycling is a sport that is so dominated by the men still, which is so sad because it's such a beautiful sport and there's so many opportunities for women to do well and to achieve something. But it's also, you have to come into it and you have to do something for it. It doesn't come for free. You have to work hard, be committed. There are sacrifices, but it's worth it. It's such a nice sport. You are outside. You are with really cool people. The community is so nice. You learn so much of each other. People help each other. But there are sacrifices. I think especially for young people, it's sometimes on a Saturday night. I mean, I know what I did when I was a youngster. It's like, do you want to party or do you want to do well at the next race? So you have to choose sometimes. And the more professional you get, the more you have to look at stuff like that, what you eat, how much you sleep and all of that. But I just keep on telling me, this is a time that I can do it now. And if I'm 40 or 50 and I don't want to cycle anymore on this professional level, I can still have an extra glass of wine and I can still have that extra piece of cake. But right now I want to do well at my sport, so I'm committed and I'm putting all my energy into that, and it's paying off, and it's just, I love doing it. I think if you enjoy what you do and you enjoy the community and being outdoors and being active, being fit, it's such a nice feeling. I think then it's so worth it.
Our international correspondent Ariel Hart is on standby to give us the latest international sports news. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa, it is goodbye.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news first. US Open that continues in Flushing Meadows. It's week 2 and it's leading up to big quarterfinal games. Some of the results: number 1 seed in the men's division, Jannik Sinner. He's in good form at the moment, beating Alex Bublik by 6-1, 6-1 and 6-1, and that is to be through to the quarterfinal. In the quarterfinal he will play against countryman Lorenzo Musetti, also from Italy. Also, big quarterfinal coming up. It is Novak Djokovic, who's won the US Open 4 times. He's 38 years old, and he will play a big quarterfinal against Taylor Fritz, who is the number 4 seed, Novak Djokovic's number 7 seed in the tournament. In the women's side of the draw, it is Amanda Anisimova that beat Beatrice Haddad-Maia. Anisimova is from the United States. She beat her by 6-love and 6-3. A massive quarterfinal coming up for Anisimova. She plays against Iga Swiatek, the number 2 seed. It's a big game because it was Iga Swiatek that beat Anisimova in the Wimbledon final by 6-love, 6-love in the final. So now they play on a different surface in the quarterfinal of the US Open. And also the women's side of the draw, it was a big result for Naomi Osaka of Japan. She beat the number 3 seed Coco Gauff of the USA by 6-3 and 6-2. And that is to advance to the quarterfinals also. Moving on to football news, it is the transfer window in the English Premier League that closed on Monday the 1st of September. £3 billion that was spent in this time. It's a new British record. Some of the names I can mention that was confirmed on the 1st of September. It was Liverpool that confirmed that Alexander Isak, he moved over from Newcastle, and he was sold by Newcastle for £125 million. That is almost $170 million US. Liverpool also had to sell Harvey Elliott, one of their players. They sold him to Aston Villa, and then it is Newcastle that signed Yehoni Visa. They signed him from Brentford for an amount of $55 million. So it is a big signings that will weekend. It will be World Cup qualifying international games that will take place this weekend. To close off today's international sports news, it is golf news. It is Ryder Cup team announcement. It is Europe that confirmed their team, and they will play against America in the Ryder Cup from the 26th to the 28th of September. That is in the USA. So Captain Luke Donald announced 6 players that his captain picks, and that was Shane Lowry, also John Rahm that plays on the Live Tour, Sepp Straka, and also Ludwig Aberg, and then Victor Hovland and Matthew Fitzpatrick. And it is significant in that 11 of the 12 players in in this team now have played in Rome. That was 2 years ago when Europe beat America in the previous Ryder Cup. So they've got a very experienced team that will play on the 26th of September at Bethbase Black. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.